Hello friends, welcome to Labor Law Station. Today we will discuss about one buzzword of the boardrooms of all companies, ESG. Let's look into what is ESG. ESG is the acronym for Environment, Social and Governance. The goal of the movement is to ensure that companies take into account not only their profit margin but also the impact they have on the world and society as a whole. Means they not only look into their profit margin, their commercial aspect, but also the societal aspect. The ESG factors influence everything from a firm's operation to its long-term strategy and even who sits on its board of directors. Means it encompasses everything of that company. What is E in ESG? When we talk about the environment in accordance with ESG principles, we mean the physical environment, the natural world that we live in, and necessary for our survival. The environment can be broken into three broad categories. Let's look into that. Environment. The three broad categories are the climate change, which we are experiencing on a greater scale, resource depletion, especially freshwater depletion, and third is pollution, both air pollution, water pollution and soil pollution. Now let's look into what is E in ESG. The E in ESG has been around since the beginning, and without it, humanity will not survive. However, what we mean by it today is evolving, but it is most often referred to as sustainability. How can we change our business practices to repair the devastation that we have created over last century and yet still be profitable? The environmental component of ESG assesses a firm's performance as a caretaker of the natural world. That means how a company takes its decision so that it does not hamper the environment, and the decision should be sustainable in nature. Their decision, their investment activities are such that they takes into consideration the environment concept. Companies that have a commitment to reduce their carbon footprint or invest in renewable resources are favored by investors. Usually, investors look at those investment opportunities which has a long vision. That means they are reducing their carbon footprints. They are creating less pollution. They are creating less soil pollution, less air pollution. Then they are investing in natural resources. They are investing in new technologies. Investors look at sustainability policies such as using renewable resources, earning carbon credits, and becoming certified by the Carbon Trust. One example is Delhi Metro. Delhi Metro earned great amount of carbon credits from international agencies by not creating pollution and running on electricity, not creating pollution, and that too with very much efficiency. Recycling, like if you are having some water bottle company, how much used water bottles you are again using on recycling. Using eco-friendly material, that is low plastic or which materials which are creating harm to our environment. Reducing water waste, that means you are not wasting water in a greater quantity, and more. All of these things contribute to a healthier world for everyone. Now let's look into what is S in ESG. Companies that prioritize their workforce, customers and suppliers are seen in a better light when it comes to investing decisions. Factors such as fair pay practices, responsible sourcing of goods and services, diversity and inclusion programs, employee benefits, health and safety initiatives, and social responsibility programs like CSR, corporate social responsibility, are those factors that investors take into consideration while investing in a company. Key that company is how that company is taking care of its workforce also, its customer also, and its supplier also. Forbes magazine once stated that a company's social responsibility is defined as the degree to which it prioritizes social demands above financial objectives. Means there should not be only financial objectives to meet. Rather, while meeting with financial objective, you should also look into societal aspect and prioritize the societal demands. The benefit of protecting your social license, including keeping your investors and clients happy. You may have a better reputation, which leads to increased sales or business opportunities in the future. Your social license is what makes you sure that people do not want to work with you because of negative press coverage surrounding ESG issues. In other words, it refers to how much goodwill and trust your company has within the community and around the globe. Now let's look into what is G in ESG. The G in ESG refers to the governance variable of decision making. This includes policy making and the distribution of rights and responsibility among various participants in the company. They include the board of directors, managers, shareholders, and stakeholders. Governance practices that reflect societal values are important for both enterprises and investors. Governance is about leadership. The governance aspect of ESG refers to how well a company is held accountable for their actions. This includes how transparent they are with public, how well they treat their employees, stakeholders, customers, and the communities they serve. This means that companies will disclose information such as their carbon footprint, pay equality, and more. It also means ensuring that there is no corruption within the company and everyone is doing things appropriately and ethically. That this is the G in ESG, governance framework of ESG. Now let's look into what are some of the benefits of ESG. Companies with better ESG metrics have been shown to deliver higher returns on equity, lower risk, and a lower cost of capital. Investors can use ESG data to identify investment opportunities in companies that are financially sound while also meeting their social responsibility objectives such as CSR. Sustainability reporting enables investors to evaluate the company's strategy, management, products, and services in the context of their long-term vision. Corporate reporting on ESGs allow investors to measure whether companies are meeting their commitments in terms of environment, social, and governance issues that are relevant in their supply chain. It is one of the goals of SDG. SDG is Sustainable Development Goals of UNDP, United Nations Development Program. The integration of sustainability has created 90% fewer carbon emission per unit GDP across 25 OECD countries over the past 40 years. That means these are some of the benefits ESG can create and can create a big impact in our lives and also for the sustainability of this earth. ESG, a buzzword at India Inclusive. Why it is recently in news? Because Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi having pledged that India will reach net zero emission by 2070 and stringent policy and regulation driving compliance, reporting and disclosure will be put in place. Recently, looking into that, market regulator SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India, has said that 1,000 largest listed companies should maintain a BRSR, Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report regulations and report on a mandatory basis from 2022-23. That means SEBI has made one BRSR report. Some regulations has been put in place and all the companies will have to abide by the, not all the companies, 1,000 largest listed companies will have to be mandatorily abide by this and report on a mandatory basis from 2022-23. Hence, ESG is at the core of all organizational transformation right now. Companies like Infosys, Marico, Distillery and PwC are putting in place measures such as upskilling employees in ESG through external partnership, new hiring, taking help of new consultants. Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad and PwC India has set up a research and innovation forum as a step in this direction. Sorry, I have used the term Indian. It is a spelling mistake. Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad and PwC India has set up a research and innovation forum as a step in this direction. It can also be considered by youth as an opportunity toward new type of employment in coming months by upskilling themselves in the field of ESG. They can get themselves a good employment opportunity. It is a new buzzword. So for such more informative videos, stay tuned and like, share and subscribe our channel Labor Lodge Station. Thank you.